That's hard to predict. Roethlisberger's made a lot of plays with his feet and extending plays over the years. I think that's something that Mitch also brings to the table. So there's a possibility of that. He's obviously got really good athleticism, and he's been a good passer when he needs to be. They voted him captain, so obviously he's a leader on the team, so he's done some really good things for him. So we're preparing to play against a really good quarterback on Sunday.
Zach, when it comes to the line and the running game, how much going into an opener do you feel like you know and have a good feel for, and how much is just you can't really find out until you actually go out and play for real?
Yeah, there's an element of both of that. We put in a lot of work preparing for the looks we think we're going to see, going against ourselves, going against the Rams, exploring some tweaks that we have in the system as well. And you're just excited to see how it all takes shape when you go out there week one, and it takes all 11 guys. We know that. It's not just about the offensive line and the running back. Everyone's got to understand their part and all the things that come off of the runs as well that help generate the run game. So we got to spend a lot of time and effort on making sure it all matches together and that we as coaches do a good job putting our guys in position to be successful week one.
Is there anything that you've seen so far that has been particularly encouraging, feeling like you have a really good feeling that really can be improved and look a lot better even right off the jump this year?
I just think overall our football intelligence up front is really high. They've a lot of veterans in that group that have seen a lot of football, and so it comes easy to them when they see some adjustments they got to make and they're communicating side by side. That's something that's really encouraging going into a season, that you'll be able to adapt and adjust quickly based on the experience. And even Cordell's a young guy, but he's smart. It makes sense to him. There's always going to be a learning curve there early in the season for a young guy, but again, he's got those two veterans surrounding him that have seen a lot of ball.
How impressive was Najee Harris to you in his first season?
I thought he was really impressive for a rookie to come in and have that kind of impact. He's very durable. I thought he did well in the preseason. In the game he played 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, I thought he looked really good. And so, again, we know that that's a physical back. They can put the ball in his hands a lot of different ways, and he's one of the better backs in the league.
Miles Jack obviously impressed you last year on the Thursday night game. What does he bring?
He's always impressed me. That going back the last several years that we played them, he's always been an impact player. So he'll bring a lot to the table there in Pittsburgh. He's a really good player. We think highly of him. He's played at a high level in this league really since he got in here, and he's a quality add to their defense.
Is it oversimplifying to say that they have two great players up front, but they have Cam Hayward?
They got more than two great players up front. I
Right.
promise
So
you that.
what I'm getting at is like they have Cam Hayward in the middle up front. You have Miles Jack, and then you have Minka Fitzpatrick. The spine of that defense is very, very strong. Is what I'm getting.
I think they have a really good defense. I think they've got really good personnel across the board, and so it's not as simple as that to me because they got a lot of strengths there, a lot more strengths and weaknesses, that's for sure. And so you got to do a good job understanding their personnel and their schemes because they make it really difficult on you with their scheme and their personnel.
Is there an opener that you can remember where a team came out and really did something that was totally unexpected? I mean, just off the charts unexpected. Or is it just usually little tweaks?
Hard for me to say that. There's always the element of the unknown in the first week, but you are who you are at your core. We are, they are. Things are going to change that we're all going to have to react to, and that's just part of week one football.
Joe Mason was just talking about how Justin Hill has helped him take the next step. How have you seen that relationship, kind of those guys help each other?
I think Justin does a really good job. He's got a good relationship with those backs. He has a really good foundation of understanding that room and how to operate. So, again, I think he does a good job helping those guys improve and staying on top of them about everything. I think that the running backs, starting with Joe and Samaje, have had really good training camps. They've really been on top of their stuff, and that's credit to Justin as well. When you don't see the mental errors happening in that position with your top two guys early in camp, that's usually a good sign that everybody is cohesive in that room and putting in the work to get things better. So I think Justin Hill's done a great job since he's been here.
Apologies if you got asked this already, but is this front really good? Do you like having this kind of test this early for your offensive line to see what it looks like against a really good front like this week?
Yeah, there's a lot of good fronts in this league. Pittsburgh's always one of them, and they're probably coming to the game healthy. It's week one. They're always motivated anytime we play a divisional team, us and them. So again, it's a really difficult test in week one because we know what they're about. We had one of their players last year. We know he's a really good player. We think highly of him. Tyson's back off the injury from a year ago. We've got a ton of respect for him. I thought Highsmith was really coming along last year as well. We know T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward are two of the best players in the league at their positions. And then they got a lot of really good players behind them as well. So it's a really good defense from the front all the way back.
Could an offensive line that hasn't had any in-game snaps and reps together benefit from establishing the run early?
Say that one more time.
Could an offensive line like this that hasn't had any in-game reps together benefit from establishing the run maybe earlier this week? Is that
Maybe. I don't want to get into where we're headed to start the game. Maybe they could.
Short yardage was an emphasis in the offseason, 31, 4th and 1, goal line stuff. Is it hard to gauge if you've improved on that? Will we not know until the whistle blows, or have you gotten indications that you're going to be better there?
That part's a little difficult to evaluate. We feel good about our scheme and the position we'll put them in. We'll see once we face these teams how it all plays out.
With Pittsburgh leading the league in sacks 5 years in a row, 50-plus every year, is it scheme? Is it players? Is it just a perfect mesh of both?
Both. I think that they've always had a real good defense. They have premier players that can get after the quarterback as well. They build their scheme off of that, to highlight their strengths. And we've seen it firsthand for a number of years, how critical it is to protect and have a great plan. And we plan on helping our guys with that plan, as the week goes.
Yeah, this is year 4 of the first week of the NFL season for you. You seem like a really even-keeled person, but is there any extra, like the night before, you get an extra level of excitement? Can you sleep, or is it just a normal week for you?
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns as the week goes. Obviously, we've had more time to put this plan in place and introduce it to our players at an earlier date. So there's always an urgency to get it all in, make sure we get good reps as the week goes. I don't really think about Saturday yet. I'm thinking about Wednesday at 1 o'clock right now. And how's practice going to look today, and can we make the corrections and get third down ready to go tomorrow? So that's more what my focus is, and it's hard for me to predict how I'll feel on Saturday.
how was my elbow in the last couple of weeks?
Good. Yeah, I think he's gotten more comfortable every single day. Really locked in from a mental standpoint. I think physically he's looking really good right now, and so I'm excited to see him play on Sunday.
Given the lack of team reps that we've seen throughout training camp, what are your expectations for how this offensive line should look on Sunday?
We got to protect our quarterback and run the ball.
Do you think the offensive line has the edge, that you're looking for? The guys have a little bit of luck in their neck a little bit.
Yeah, I think when Ted talks at night in his sleep, I think he talks about front identification and remics, and just hearing him, I love it. It's the best.
Anything else? Thanks, Zach.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.